Following the Ravenna hose cart in the village of Bonanza, we have coming on camera now the best of mummers from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
We have to give a thanks to Jim Fox, Jr., who is the director of the band. They've traveled a long way, as we said, from Philadelphia to join us here today. Very special thanks to all those people that did come from so far to help us celebrate our 300th birthday.
For those of you that might have missed it, as part of their visit to Albany, the Best of Mummers had a concert last night down at the convention center. We understand from reports it was a great concert, well over 1,700 people in attendance. We happened to catch a glimpse of it on Channel 10 last night, and they played such old favorites as Babyface and others of that vintage. If you missed it, I'm sure you missed a good show. The Best of the Mummers appear to be ready to come down, and we must give a listen and give a look. What magnificent colors. Best of the Mummers, the Quaker City Band. Followed now by the village of Bonanza, great village of Bonanza, New York, and its great mayor, Tommy Gibbs. We have an Albany trolley here. Looks like an old-fashioned trolley from the village of Bonanza. Coming on the camera now, we have Albany 300 presents Cindy's Academy of Dance.
We do have something from the Albany Schenectady Estonian Society. Founded in the early 1950s by citizens of Estonia who had fled the communist takeover of their country at the end of World War II, area Estonians still meet and maintain their national identity. They observe traditional holidays, participate in Estonian folk singing and dancing, and bring young Estonians an awareness of their culture and heritage.
Following the Estonia Society of Schenectady, New York, the second place in Division 6, we have a contingent from the Village of Colony Youth Council, whose motto is, "We'll keep our youth active and aware." Welcome to the Village of Bonanza Youth Council.
Following the Village of Colony Youth Council, we do have an entry from the Good Samaritan Center. The Episcopal Diocese of Albany Float represents the 4 diocesan institutions in the Good Samaritan Center. The Child's Hospital, founded in 1974, recently designated by the State Health Department as the Ambulatory Service Center for the area. The Children's Nursing Home, founded in 1962. St. Margaret's House and Hospital for Babies, founded in 1883, serving incurable infants and children. And Nelson House, founded in 1968, a retirement home for the healthy elderly. Each of the 4 quadrants on the float represents one of the institutions. The float was designed by James Gwynn of Albany, and the entire construction was done by volunteers from the Good Samaritan Center and the diocese. Very special thanks to the Episcopal Diocese of Albany, Child's Hospital, Child's Nursing Home, St. Margaret's House and Hospital for Babies, Nelson House, the Child's Hospital Foundation, D.A. Collins Construction, and all of the many volunteers that it took to work on this float. Thank you.
Hats off to the Colony Youth Council, Cindy's Academy of Dance, and certainly the Good Samaritan Center of the Episcopal Diocese of Albany. Welcome to the parade, and thanks for participating.
Following the Good Samaritan Center, we do have an entry from the United States Marine Corps. They are being led by the First Sergeant C. Garrell.
Navy.
I'm sorry, that was a mistake. It's not the Marine Corps, it's the Naval Corps.
I had to correct Kim on that because her daddy at one time was a member of the United States Navy. We have a float here now from the Charles Nursing Home, whose motto, compassion, care, and loving kindness. Let's take a look at the Charles Nursing Home float. As old as the city of Albany, but we remember the old Child's Hospital that was on the corner of Elk and I think Dove down by the old Education Department building. Following the Child's Hospital, located now certainly up on Hackett Boulevard, now we have a marching contingent of the United States Navy following, and part of the marching group, the Naval and Marine Corps Reserve Center with its chief petty officers leading the contingent.
Following them, we have an entry from the 98th Division Training of the U.S. Army Reserve. Mr. John Tracy is the director of the band, and the official name of the band is Rappel's Own. They have traveled all the way from Rochester, New York to be with us here today.
There they are, folks, petty officers all, United States Navy. There's a fella coming along here with looks like 6 or 7 bars on his left arm. Each one of those represents 4 years of service, so you're talking about 24, looks like maybe 24 or 28 years of service. Next we have the Capital Area Chief Petty Officers Association of the United States Navy. Contingent of the United States Navy Seabees Corps. Followed by a contingent from the Naval Sea Cadets.
Coming on counter now is the 464th Engineer Battalion from Hillside, Schenectady, New York.
Judging from the amount of gold on the bars on the fellows just passing here, I wouldn't say that they're sea cadets, but the insignia says they are. Here comes a float with the United States band, or a band provided by the United States Navy. Let's give a listen to the United States Navy band with its great rendition of Bill Bailey. Consist of various organizations that are part of the Albany County Council. Several contingents of the veterans of foreign wars. certainly have to compliment, ladies and gentlemen, all these wonderful marching groups and bands and floats that took the time to come out and be with us today. That I inquired as to the length of the parade route, and it was guesstimated or estimated that the route would be between 2.5 and 3 miles, and that's certainly a walk on a day like today, especially with the wonderful weather that we've been provided. If we can keep this good weather in mind, perhaps next St. Patrick's Day we'll be as lucky. At least we hope we are. Child Welfare Nurses Training, Carvel Star, AAU Junior Olympics, Albany County Poachers 40/8. Now we have a band coming up next. Coming on camera now, the 102nd unit in today's Tricentennial Parade. We have the 98th Rappel Zone United States Army Band. Yeah, because Boston lost last night. The Yankees won. They said that Boston's never been a good second. I haven't heard the money officers yet. Well, it's 1:22. At the moment.
I'm used to it, that's okay.
Some good-looking broad. shot of this little fellow right down here in front of the bandstand, huh? How you doing?
Hi.
What's going on? Where you playing?
I'm over Tricentennial Fridays and Sundays.
Fridays and Sundays? See ya. Back on the move again. Coming on camera now, the 102nd Unit, 98th Rappelzone Band. Let's give a look and listen at Rappelzone Band. Rappelzone, the 98th Rappelzone Band. We have the headquarters battalion of the 464th Engineers Battalion. 464 Engineers Battalion. Following the 464th, we have the Capital District, New York State chapter of the Association of Army Reservists. Capital District Triad. Here we have a very attractive float drawn by lovely Shetlands and provided to us and sponsored by the Rotary Club of Albany, whose motto, Rotary brings hope equals polio plus. United States Veterinary and Medical Society, a century of caring for man and animals, 1890-1990. Next, coming on camera, we have the New York State Environmental Conservation Police, Mounted Unit.
The New York State Encon Police is the law enforcement division of the Environmental Conservation Department. It consists of 250 officers stationed throughout the state, responsible for enforcing all fish, wildlife, and environmental resources laws of the state of New York. The organization was created in 1880, then called Game Protectors. Today, in addition to the fish and wildlife enforcement, the group's concerns include hazardous and industrial waste, water pollution, pesticides, endangered species, air pollution, and stream disturbance violations. A special thanks to the Commissioner of Encon, Henry G. Williams.
Following them, we have the Master Wadsworth Lodge, Order of the Masons. Coming on camera next, Unit 110, we have the Cypress Temple Marching Band.
And our thanks to Joe Walsh, who is the director of the Cypress Temple Marching Band. They are a local band just right out of Albany, New York.
Preceding the Cypress Temple Marching Band, we have the Cypress Temple of Albany, New York, and its color guard members. Flags representing the international connotation of the order. That's a sousaphone. Tuba is something you can dump water in. Sousaphone is something you have to throw it in. Whoop! Cypress Temple Marching Band. Let's give a look and listen. Following the band, we have the Knight Temple Bandaries. Temple director staff have their own fire truck to ride around Albany and put their own fires out with. Cypress Temple Oriental Band right from Albany, New York. country of Glen. Maybe they're going to come up and honor us with a little fiddle and spoons, and I see the washboard and a guitar there. Cyclist, again from Albany, New York. Doing a little maneuvering for us here in front of the camera. There's nothing very presumptuous about those Cadillacs. Camera now, we have the van from the Shriners Crippled Children's Hospital from Montreal to Mexico and Massachusetts to Hawaii. Obviously, the Shriners deserve a great deal of credit and a big hand for the fine work that they do on behalf of crippled children, and certainly we've all seen Danny Thomas on television from time to time pleading for assistance for the Shriners in that effort. Thank you to the Shriners for coming, and you're certainly a welcome addition to the parade. Coming on camera, we have Uncle Sam Wilson from Troy, New York, leading the Oriental Temple of Shriners from Troy, New York, which obviously goes without saying it's the home of Uncle Sam. There are some folks around the country that might dispute that, but we here in the capital district certainly know that Sam Wilson came from Troy, New York, and he is Uncle Sam. We welcome Troy, New York and its contingent of Shriners to our Tricentennial parade.
How you doing?
Floats from the Glens Falls Shriners Club being pulled by a van from the Oriental Temple in Troy, New York. Whoa! An hour left. following the Oriental Temple's Hillbilly Band, which we'll probably try to give a listen to here if we can. Next unit coming on camera, the New York State Environmental Conservation Police Unit, being led by its banner carrier and color guard, followed in the light blue shirt. Whoop. Johnny. All right. He's right out front. He's right out front. He's right out in front of the door. Following along on camera now, we have the Loyal Order of the Moose, Albany Lodge, number 80, from here in Albany, New York. Two. Little float from Moose Lodge number 80, followed by some cars carrying some of the members. Right there. All right, we put those on the ground down there.
I'd like to have the American flag here in the colors. I'd like to have the flag. The American flag.
Following the Moose Lodge number 80, we have the Knights of Columbus Lodge 173 from Albany, New York. Coming on camera now, we have the Rapple Zone 98 Battalion Band. Led by the 364th General Hospital Battalion. Let's give a listen now to the 364th General Hospital Battalion Band.
Activated in July 1923 and is commanded by Captain Barbara Cottrell.
Not too close. 364th General Hospital Battalion. 77th Army Command Band. followed now by the Knights of Columbus.
The Knights of Columbus Council 173 is a Catholic service fraternal organization. The Knights of Columbus is 104 years old, with the Albany Council celebrating its 90th birthday in its 90th year of service to the community. The organization sponsors Little League teams, programs for senior citizens, Thanksgiving dinners for the underprivileged, and Christmas parties for the poor. The group also conducts fundraising for many programs and is also committed to aid the Catholic churches and parochial schools of the Diocese of Albany. The color corps of the Knights of Columbus have always been a colorful part of the Albany Parade, and we thank them for joining us today.
I know, how well. Council 173, Knights of Columbus, Albany, New York. Excuse me, the Reverend Michael J. Looney, General Assembly, Albany, New York.
Following the Knights, we have an entry from the St. Andrew's Society of Albany. This society was organized in 1803 by and for Scots. The St. Andrew's Society is a benevolent association. Its Albany chapter contributes to many worthy charities in Albany and Scotland. Its membership of Scottish birth and descent come from every walk of life, and over the years have occupied important posts in government, education, and all professions.
Next we have a depiction of our great lady, the Statue of Liberty, provided to the parade here by the St. Francis of Assisi Council 8846, Knights of Columbus from Northville, New York. Say hello to all our friends from Northville, New York. We do get up through Northville probably 2 or 3 weekends a month to our place up on the Sacandaga, 1986 upstate free throw champion, Jenny Grove. Welcome.
Coming on to camera now is the Schenectady Pipe Band. The band manager is Mr. Jack Monroe, and they do come from Albany, New York. It was founded in 1917 and is one of the oldest pipe bands in North America. In recognition of its distinguished history, the band proudly wears the full military uniform of Scotland's renowned Gordon Highlanders, the regiment of one of the band's founding members.
As Kim said, coming on camera now, the Schenectady Pipe Band, one of the great pipe bands of the area, and always a welcome addition to our Albany parades, especially our 300th Tricentennial. They've been with us before, and we've always enjoyed them, and I'm sure that everyone's enjoyed them today along the route. Let's give a listen now to the Schenectady Pipe Band.
Following the Schenectady Pipe Band, we have the St. Andrew's Society of Schenectady. This society was founded in 1803 and is active in the Capital District Scottish game and also sponsors the annual Tartan Ball at the Albany Polish Community Center. The St. Andrew's Society is Schenectady County's oldest fraternal organization.
Following the St. Andrew's Society, the Scottish Benevolence since 1803, we have float number 118 being provided to us courtesy of the Tricentennial House and Dime Savings Bank.
The Tricentennial House is a nursing home with 300-bed facility operated by the Carmelite Sisters for the aged and the infirm. The facility's float is a replica of the DeWitt Clinton, the first train to run from Albany to Schenectady. The train made its maiden voyage in August 1831 in 40 minutes with a fare of 50 cents per person. Special thanks to Janet Hand's Activities Director, Richard Walker, faithful volunteer, and his wife Marilyn, Alfred Gallup, the resident who gave the inspiration for the float, Sister M. Charles O'Carm, art assistant, Robert Noak, art consultant, Billy Wasserback and Ann O'Brien, volunteers, support from administration, sisters, staff, residents, and friends, and to the generous sponsors who made it possible: Carter, Conboy, Baldwell, Case and Blackmore, attorneys and counselors at law, Roger J. Fortin Warehousing, the Dime Savings Bank of Albany, and General Steel Fabricators, Inc. for the generous loan of the flatbed tractor and driver.
Following the Tricentennial House float depicting the Governor Clinton, one of the first locomotives in the state of New York, we have the Business and Professional Women's Club of Albany. Some marching, some in uniform depicting their professionalism, and some of the gals who decided it was too hot to walk are enjoying a nice ride in big Cadillacs, we say. Not bad. BPW, USA. Ladies, how are you? Nice to see you. Yeah. I see a nice red Corvette coming up here on the end. That flags coming. VA. Number 119.
Coming onto view now, I think is what we see is the 369th Veterans Association.
Following the Albany District 369th Veterans Association, we have the Veterans Hospital Medical Center contingent. Certainly with the camera on the Veterans Administration Medical Center, we can see just to the rear of them what looks to be a sea of flags. Veterans Administration Medical Center, and we see Rod O'Connor, who for years and years very effectively has led the staff and the program staff at the VA to ensure that our veterans who happen to be there for a short period of time or whatever are treated well, are programmed well, and receive all the care and attention that they certainly deserve. Again, being chauffeured by the automobilists of the Upper Hudson Valley. I understand. Flags, too?
Right back to the floor. Yeah, out flag. Careful distance help.
Following Ron O'Connor, the director over at the Veterans Hospital, you might have heard give me some instructions. He informed me that the flags that were coming on camera now were provided by the Capital District Elks organizations. A great contribution to a great parade, and certainly probably one of the most colorful contingents that we've seen here today. Flags from the Elks Memorial Drive Veterans Administration Medical Center. Great expression that the gentlemen have on their T-shirts. If we can see that, we can see that on one of the cameras. Elk Care and Elk Share, and that is so true. It's a great organization. We thank them for their obvious support to the parade here today. Float coming on here now following the Veterans Administration Hospital entry, which consisted of several entries. Here we have now a float to sum up the VA Medical Center's contribution to the parade. So once again, hats off to the VA staff, and hats off and congratulations to Rod O'Connor for putting together a great participant group here in the parade. Following the Veterans Administration Hospital, we have the New York State Park Police mounted unit.
The mounted unit was formed in 1978. The unit patrols all state parks, campsites, resort sites, canal and river parks, and boat launches in a 9-county area surrounding the Capital District. Special details include the State Fair, Special Olympics, and anti-nuclear demonstrations. Thank you to the New York State Department of Parks and Recreation, New York State Parks and Recreation Commissioner Orrin Lehman.
Following the New York State Police mounted unit, as we can possibly see on camera now, we have the WROW radio car. We understand being manned by Joe Condon. I'm sure doing a very able job. We've heard some of his recording on radios as they passed by here today in review as part of the parade. Following the WROW radio car, we have the Zonta Service Club organization, the New York State Department of Transportation Waterways Maintenance Division, the Center Square Association, and then the Fraser Pipe Band. Very attractive, what appears to be a Rolls Royce here with a J.E. King license plate.
We do have a representative here today from the Center Square Association. This is Albany's oldest neighborhood association, founded in 1957. Residents raise community interest and pride in the neighborhood by implementing various beautification projects. Today, such issues as zoning, code enforcement, parking, and garbage and litter control dominate the group's efforts in providing downtown residents with the quality of life competitive with the suburban amenities, space, and less density provide. Thank you very much to Richard H. Hall of Quality Auto for contributing the use of his MGTC antique car in the parade, the parade participants for volunteering to represent the organization.
Always stay a little left of center. New York State Department of Transportation, the Waterways Maintenance Division, one of the old work boats, I assume, that worked the Erie Canal years and years ago when it was just that, the barge canal. Let's give a listen now to some, I'm sure, some old Erie Canal songs.
Oh, Albany girls, won't you come out tonight? Come out tonight. Come out tonight. Oh, Albany girls, won't you come out tonight? Dance by the light.
We have a few minutes here, and I think the next thing that's going to be on camera should be the Fraser Pipe Band, number 130 with 32 to go. Should go fast if they can help. We hear in the background, ladies and gentlemen, are the strains of the Fraser Pipe Band, Unit 130, leading the Northeast subcontractors, the Uncle Sam Birthday Parade Committee, and the Rinser Hunting Float down the avenue. The Fraser Pipe Band.
The Fraser Highlanders were formed in 1978 as the United States prepared for its bicentennial. The band's founders chose its name and uniform to duplicate the famed 78th Regiment of Foot. The original group was usually called Fraser's Highlanders after the Highland Lord who raised the regiment. The original Frasers campaigned with great success in New York State and Canada during the French and Indian War. The modern Frasers have campaigned with similar successes at Highland Games. Since first entering competition in 1977, the group has consistently been on prize lists at major games throughout the Northeast and Canada. The band wears the Black Watch tartan, which was the tartan issued by the British government to the original regiment in 1758.
Where they come from? Where they from? Where they from? Let's give a look and listen now to the Fraser Highlanders Pipe Band from Avon, New York. Building contractors, Albany, New York. Schenectady Steel, obviously, is a participant. A couple of bricks, a couple of blondes, a couple of beers, everything's okay. Very nice place. First place in division number 4. Birthday parade committee, and they just started the happy birthday. I'm sure you heard that. The Rensselaer housing float, I think we have coming up on us now, the City of Troy Home of Uncle Sam float, the Rensselaer Housing Authority, big Cadillac with some very happy people, and a little fella down there waving up at us. On to camera at the moment, leading the Ancient Order of Hibernians down the avenue. We have the New York City Emerald Society pipe band. Let's give a look and listen to the New York City Emerald Society Fire Department pipes and drums. Dandy Division number 5, Ancient Order of Hibernians, being led down the avenue by the New York City Fire Department Emerald Society Band. Hibernians, one and all. Thank you. Thanks very much. Dick Kawaya. Music Museum of the Historical Society of Early American Decorations, Inc.
This Museum of the Historical Society of Early American Decoration has one of the finest collections of ornamented tin, paper mache, and wood. It is located in Albany, and it is the national headquarters of the private nonprofit organization HSEAD. The museum features guided tours, exhibits, lectures, demonstrations, and workshops that perpetuate the techniques of freehand painting and stenciling. A special thanks to Mr. Fermari of Brandon, Vermont for the use of his horse and wagon.
Following that unit, the Hibernians and the Museum of Historical Society, we had the Manning Boulevard Neighborhood Association, and we'd like to say hello to our neighbors from Manning Boulevard. Thank them for the courtesies and the time that they gave the parade today. We did start the parade at Manning Boulevard and Washington Avenue, and I'm sure that it might have been a little upsetting to some folks, but we thank them sincerely for their cooperation. Things seem to have worked out extremely, extremely well. Coming on camera next, we have the Letchworth Central School Band from Gainesville, New York. The Letchworth High School Band. Let's give a look and listen.
Band is a 90-piece unit chosen from 1,000 students from kindergarten through grade 12. Thanks to Ed Van Zandt, who brought these kids down here to play for us today. Thanks, Ed.
Letchworth High School Band from Gainesville, New York, ladies and gentlemen. Letchworth, the high school band from Gainesville, New York, who certainly were very comfortable, very colorful, I should say, I'm trying to say. We have the exhibits from the Albany Housing Authority, the South End Merchants, being assisted by the Central Maintenance of the Albany Housing Authority staff. Coming up next, we have a sign that says Best Parade Float. Originally at the beginning of the parade, I thought all the signs that were issued that I was reading out to you saying first place and second place in this division or that division were ideas of the parade committee. I realize now that those are the ideas of the participants. They carried the banners down hoping that their wish imprint would come true. We have now the old Albany circa 1900 provided by the Sterling Winthrop Drug Corporation, located over at the top of the Columbia Turnpike. We thank Sterling Winthrop, George Clark and Sons from Troy, New York, for pulling it, for bringing us a replica of an old-time drug dispensary. We certainly, some of us do anyway, remember A.B. Houston and Company when it was located in downtown Albany. Hi, folks. Thanks for coming. Auxiliary to the Medical Society of Albany County is next up, the Albany County Medical Society Unit number 141. Following the Albany Medical Society and coming on camera now up at Lark Street, we have the Berkshire Highlanders Bagpipe Band. Berkshire Highlanders Bagpipe Band. Following the Medical Society and Albany Public Library float. Earlier in the parade, we described a mounted unit to you erroneously. We'd like to point out that the Altamont Police Horse Patrol did participate earlier. They were erroneously scheduled this far back in the program. So we'd like to thank Chief Pratt and the Altamont Police Horse Patrol for participating, and we hope to see them again soon out at the Altamont Fairgrounds. Coming on camera now, we could give a look and listen to the Berkshire Highlanders pipe band.
And a thanks to both Nancy Crutcher and Bob Sheehan for bringing the Berkshire Highlanders all the way from Pittsfield, Mass. to be with us today.
Berkshire Highlanders Bagpipe Band. Berkshire Highlanders Bagpipe Band, we have a coach of the automobilists of the Upper Hudson Valley carrying what we think to be a Carnival de Quebec. Next we have some floats built by neighborhood associations and towns. The first one being from our neighbor over in Rensselaer County, just a short distance out the road, the town of Schodack, the fastest growing town in Rensselaer County. Nice to see you, folks. It began as a colony of Albany in 1709. Maple Avenue Cultural Society of Voorheesville, New York. Tin Horns and Calico, the Maple Avenue Cultural Society of Voorheesville, New York. Either blow the horn or shoot the gun, one or the other. Happy 300th birthday, Albany, from the Madison Avenue Price Chopper.
This float depicts an early trading post featuring Iroquois Indian traded with the Dutch. It was constructed by Dan Razzano and Joe Tronco with artwork by Tony Garuffi. Thank you to Dan, Joe Tronco, Tony Garuffi, Sue Ann Ricco, George Long, Ray D'Agostino, and everyone at the Madison Avenue Price Chopper who contributed their time and energy.
The Historical Society of the Town of Colony, entry 148.
This entry depicts a colorful farm wagon pulled by Belgian horses on its way to Albany to view the last public hanging in Albany County. This was in 1827, and 30,000 to 40,000 people from the city and outlying areas came to view the hanging of Jesse Strang.
America's first Shaker Settlement Society, Shaker Heritage Society, and we'd like to say hello to Tom Carnes, who is certainly a shaker. A mover and a shaker.
A special thank you to the Shaker Road Loudonville Fire Department for the loan of the float, Libby Lee, designer, Paul Russell, producer and driver, Gene Alton, coordinator, and all members of the Shaker Heritage Society.
Coming on camera now in their atypical colors for today, the Cohoes High School Band with their blue and gold. Let's take a look and give a listen.
This is a marching band from the Cohoes High School. Richard Blaze is the band leader.
High School District Band, Cohoes, New York. Let's give a look. Color Guard, Pom Pom Girls, and the Cohoes High School Band. Old Woodward Marion. today from the Cohoes High School Band, and a great big thank you for that timely and fine rendition of Happy Birthday to we folks that are here and live in the city of Albany. Following the Cohoes High School Band, we have the Kingsway Arms Nursing Center, the town of Kinderhook, the Marine Corps League, the Spirit of 76 Pipe and Drum Corps.
This is located on Kings Road in Schenectady. Kings Road was the first route between Schenectady and Albany. King George traveled to Schenectady on the Kings Highway in 1768 on his draw horse carriage. Today, many continue to take this route on their automobiles. Thank you to the Parkland Development Corporation, White Birch Nursery, and Orlando's Hardware for their contribution.
On camera now, little village or town to the south of Albany over on the other side of the river, Kinderhook, New York, and there's the banner says, "Welcome to Kinderhook, New York, birthplace of President Martin Van Buren."
The town of Kinderhook is located 17 miles southeast of Albany in Columbia County and was chartered in 1686. It's celebrating its own Tricentennial this year. It boasts the home of the 8th President of the United States, Martin Van Buren, as well as many buildings with historic and architectural significance. A special thanks to Supervisor Leland Irish, the town board, town historian Kenneth Fleischer, and all those who supported the construction of the town float.
Welcome to Kinderhook, and a big Albany welcome to the village of Kinderhook, and thank you very much for joining us and helping us celebrate our 300th anniversary. I think that's Betsy Ross carrying the flag there. That or my mother-in-law. To the Spirit of 76 Pipe and Drum Corps. We're adding a little music to the town of Kinderhook March. And we have the Kinderhook Children. I know there was something there. Well, at least I talked to the woman, so I did. Spirit of 76, Pipe and Drum Corps, East Greenbush, New York. Stop for a moment to give a salute to our senior citizen seating here just in front of the Washington Avenue Army. And let's give a listen now to a great group, strong group, in spite of their numbers, the Spirit of 76, Pipe and Drum Corps from East Greenbush, New York. William O'Brien Detachment, Color Guard for the Marine Corps League. Gentlemen. Next we have the 1775, Tun Tavern, Philadelphia, birthplace of the United States of America. Tun Tavern, provided by the Marine Corps League here in Albany, New York. Automobilists of the Upper Hudson Valley. Keep USA first. Says. I see a couple of vintage cars in there. One looks like the one I just got rid of, though, a couple of weeks ago. Not much on the trade-in, but Sons of the American Revolution. 1 car Ford. Dutch Historical Company.
This historic recreation group dedicated to furthering interest in the 17th century European and American history through the use of period costumes, demonstrations, and educational activities. The organization has appeared at many local events, such as Kralow State Historic Site's 12th Night, Albany Tulip Festivals, various Tricentennial promotions and celebrations, as well as several local schools. Its members have presented talks on area history and relics, performed dances, and demonstrated military skills such as matchlock musket drill and firing and pike drill. We thank the Anglo-Dutch Company.
Following the Anglo-Dutch Company, we have a tractor-trailer with a display on it. I suspect it might be the Fort Orange Garden Club float sponsored by Jim Malloy. Let's take a look.
Yes, this is a float, the title of which is A House and Garden in Old Fort Orange. The Dutch House will be on display after the parade at the Albany Institute of History and Art to implement the Institute's education program. Thanks to Mark Thaler, Tony Niceforo of Mendel, Messick, Cohen, and Waite, architects for Dutch House Design, Carpenters Local 370 for construction of the house. Thank you.
Once again, the Fort Orange Garden Club float is sponsored by Jim Malloy. We thank the Fort Orange Club and Mr. Malloy for participating with us in this year's Tricentennial Parade. We got next coming down, Greenville High School Band.
This band comes from Greenville, New York, has 70 members, and is active in community and civic programs and parades. They're under the direction of Theodore Stedman. The band has traveled extensively throughout the United States and Canada, appearing in numerous festivals and competitions. The group recently took first place in Division II of the Universal Festival of Bands that took place in Boston.
The Greenville High School Band leading down the avenue, the near end of the parade. Following the Greenville High School Band, we'll have representatives of the First Church in Albany, the Dutch Settlers of Albany, sponsored by Southwark Inc., Danes in Albany, members of the Parade Committee, and at the conclusion, the Altamar Parish Williamstown High School Band. Let's give a look now and listen at our neighbors from just south of Albany, the Greenville High School Band.
Almost over.
Great rendition of America by the Greenville High School Band, and we thank our neighbors just from the south of Albany for joining us in this year's Tricentennial. Following the Greenville High School Band, we have a representative from the First Church in Albany, which what appears to be a replica of a Dutch barn from the early Albany settlement. Following the First Church, we have representatives from the Dutch Settlers of Albany, sponsored once again by the Southworth Company, Danes in Albany, and then members of the Parade Committee.
This float by the Dutch Settlers is sponsored by the Southworth Machinery, suppliers of construction equipment to northeastern New York since 1940.
Town of Gilderland Historical Society and the Town of Gilderland. We'd like to thank Supervisor Kevin Moss and the folks from the Town of Gilderland for joining us and participating in this greatest show on earth. And now, passing, we have the float of the First Church in Albany, America's oldest pulpit, over 300 years old. Here we have a little float depicting the Dutch Settlers Society of Albany, sponsored by the Southworth Machinery Inc. Dutch Settlers Society of Albany. Hi, folks. Nice to see you. Some nice little convertibles here that weren't too many Dutch settlers that rode in those, I don't think. Good view. German Auto House, Burn Hills, New York. Hi to Burn Hills. New York State, Lonnie. Hello. And the automobilists of the Upper Hudson. From Viking to peace. Okay, the Danes in Albany. From Vikings to peace. Pretty young lady now carrying the Danish flag.
The Danes, together with other members of Scandinavians in Albany and members of the Scandinavian Forum of the Tri-Cities, have joined efforts in making the Viking ship for the parade. A Dutch church was founded in Albany in 1633 where State Street and Broadway meet. The Scandinavian Forum tries to give Albanians a chance to get to know Scandinavian culture. A special thanks to Mayor Whalen for making this a very festive year in which all citizens can participate.
Thank you. Denmark. Denmark, Norway, land of the fjords. Denmark, few people have too much, or too little. Nice to see you. Finland, another one of the Danish nations. Unit 161 and 162 is going to consist of the Altamar Parish Williamstown High School Band.
This is a 160-piece band, marching band from Parrish, New York. It has represented New York in the National Independence Day Parade in Washington, D.C., and in the Football Hall of Fame Parade in Canton, Ohio. This is the band's first appearance in Albany, and we do welcome them today, and we welcome them to come back for the next parade, which probably will be St. Patrick's Day next year.
Let's give a look now to what appears to be one of the largest and probably most polished and experienced and travel bands in New York State, the Altamar Parish Williamstown High School Band. Altamar Parish and Williamstown High School Band. What a great looking outfit. Pieces. Don't they look gorgeous? one are you gonna? Which one am I gonna get you guys playing? Okay, fine. And then Kim. And Kim is gonna follow me. All right? Okay. Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like we've come to the conclusion of what appears to be, and what in my mind, and I'm sure in the mind of many, has been one of the most greatest parades that upstate New York has ever seen, and certainly will ever see for years to come. We had so many groups that came from so far, of course, and others that came from nearby, but nonetheless, we owe them all a great vote of thanks. The formations, the time, the Alina March, there were so many things that were demanding, not to count the weather. They did a great job, and we'd like to thank them one and all, and certainly invite them back, we hope, to parades that follow here in the capital city. Earlier today, we mentioned some members of the parade committee that we wanted to thank, and we gave some credits. Right now, we'd like to acknowledge Roger Jones of Campedo Plumbing and Heating, Ed Lawless, Martin Keller Roofing, Frank Mitchell, R.B. Wing, Gus Stantz Combustion Association, Tom McDermott, Schenectady Steel, Ed Likuski, Huff and Puff Insulators, Merrill Hagan, Westside Structural, Len Cohen, Jim Phillips, Marty Mullins, Tom Bono Sign Company, Joe Clark, DJ Contractors, Jim Milano, Ken D'Agostino Jr., Bob Torrico, Dave Mahoney of AWESCO, Marty Keller, Keller Roofing, Steve Campedo Plumbing, Peter Hess, Albany Steel Inc., Doug Smith, G&A Masonry Corporation, Bob Irish, John G. Meyer Travel, and Tony Gross of the Albany Ladder Company. All these folks were great supporters and contributors to the Tricentennial Parade. They provided help and assistance and guidance for the construction of all of the floats, and many were very generous with their contributions toward assisting other organizations in building theirs. Once again, it's been a great parade. I want to thank you personally for allowing me the pleasure of being here. One final salute to Tom Birch, the general chairman of the parade, who I know, because he's a personal friend of mine, has worked hard and long for a very long time to make this parade the success that it was. Tommy, a good job. Congratulations. Thank you.
And at this time, I would like to again thank our crew that we had here today. The producer, John Sarin, directed by Don Drucke. The crew, Bruce Jennings, John Malone, Philip Schmidt, Kevin Morrow, Ted Aubrey, Gerald Giuseppe. Special thanks to the Albany Public Library once again for all of their help in this matter. Another special thanks to WRPI for the loan of all of their video and audio equipment. And a special thanks to William O'Connor, the acting director.
And one final thanks to my daughter Kim and my daughter Bridget, who, because he couldn't stay with us all day, but we'd like to thank them and tip our hat to them for coming down and helping us here today. So thank you very much. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Goodbye, and have a good day and a good weekend.